private funds and questionable asset sales. Gambia, a low-income nation, continues to struggle with widespread poverty and food insecurity. The economy relies heavily on agriculture that suffers from weak planning and poor government oversight. In such fragile conditions, corruption scandals only deepen public hardship, as limited national resources are siphoned off by those in power.
All right, that was a BBC roundup on the current demonstration of the country. So the reason I bring back this audio because I was about to make a point. Like whatever we are saying, as a citizen, if you are going out for any protest, you should know the main purpose of that particular protest. You just don't have people saying, let's go out. People are gathering at Westfield. There's a protest going there. You also just go and jump and join them. Now, how about if you go and join a protest? International media came, have an interview with you. You are just talking like that. That's dangerous to our nation. So, as citizens, it is our responsibility to vote and be voted, and it is our responsibility to have a freedom of speech in our country, but it is our also responsibility to make sure and be held responsible of whatever we are saying about our country, nothing but the truth. If you heard about the demonstration, you just join them, jump and join them, and unfortunately you have an encounter with the international media, you start talking. The whole world is listening to you. Probably, there will be what you call misinterpretation. You're going to have something. So, if you see some of the people that are talking to the BBC, they are not part of the organizers, and then they are individuals who don't even know, why they are on the streets. Because of the purpose of the protest was Pura raised the bar for our GSM operators. And these Gala people went and wrote a petition to Pura to remind them about their responsibility to regulate the service, deliver the service quality to the Gambians. And then it was a thanks. 23 of them went to prison, but now there's no one in prison, rather they were all released. So if you have an interview with the media talking about that protest, it has to be purely on the Pura saga. Nothing but Pura saga. But
yeah, Mr. Fadi,
it's crazy.
To avoid misinformation, the audio that you just played was a protest before the Pura itself.
Yeah.
So this one is not connected to this one.
Yeah.
So this one was obviously the 5 petitions that they sent to 5 different
institutions.
So one is going to the National Assembly. So the audio you just played is not a recent. It's like a long time. Like it's May, I don't know, June.
Yeah.
That's their protest before this one. Yeah. So you should see that what he said was connected to that.
Yeah.
He's not talking about the Pura. So he was in fact arrested. The guy, the Gala season, was also arrested during an interview. Yeah. So we see that so many videos are circulating where he was being interviewed by some journalists, not BBC, but by some Gambian journalists inside here, and he was taken away. So you see that demonstration and protest is part of democracy. So like you giving the service. So meaning if we put them there, we are not seeing things are going right, then we have to hold them accountable and also ask questions. So they said, asking questions, you get your answers. But then if you don't ask, you're not going to get your answers.
All right. So that will take us to our next item. That is going to be the inquiry from the BBC and the replay on our daily podcast. Is now becoming a regular feature on this program. But this time round, children in Indonesia are now receiving free school meals, part of a born new plan by President Parowa Sobahitu. So Indonesia, the way they pronounce their names, it is how they write it. Yeah, it's very interesting.
Direct translation.
Yeah, the way they write it, that's how you pronounce it. It's a very interesting name. Subetua.
What kind of
it's really interesting. So now let's join the BBC inquiry team. And then I wish when we're going to have that, you have a free meal at school. That would be fantastic if we have that.
Free meal at school.
Yes. Maybe Muhammad remember it used to happen during Jawra's time. I remember every Friday, like there's a food at school. Every Friday, you are given this big long bread and then you put coffee. So it used to be, but now it's all gone.
No, bread is expensive. We don't talk about free meal now. That one.
All right, let's go to Asia, Indonesia to be precise, to join the BBC team for this week inquiry regarding this important meal for school outgoing children. So more on that, let's join the BBC inquiry team.
Problems are maybe the tip of the iceberg of many potential problems. I think what is difficult about each one is it is easy to think of them as one thing, but they're actually the face of a very complex policy issue.
The first problem for the government is the cost. The free meals program will make up 1/10 of the nation's total budget.
To feed apparently 83 million people, but they're only feeding about 5 million now. It's been about 6 months since the program has been out. So it is correct, these are the problems that the country faces, but is this the right way to go about solving these problems? I think the jury is still out on that.
It's important to emphasise that so far, only a small percentage of the program has been implemented, which brings us to the next hurdle, and that is infrastructure.
There have been implementation problems such as some logistical issues with even enough kitchens to cook the meals, whether each kitchen is up to the standards that we insist on. Some of the children, unfortunately, have had food poisoning, in some cases bad enough to send them to hospital. So I think because they were in a rush, maybe, to show that this is his first year as president, he wants to do a lot for the country, he doesn't have a lot of time. But unfortunately, in the rush to implement, I think a lot of details may have been overlooked, or too many people trying to do too many things, and somehow it doesn't get implemented properly.
Do you think, in a way, it is an illustration of some of the country's problems, the way that this program has been rolled out? Meaning its geographical challenges, its economic challenges, the lack of transparency, the desire for political gain, all of those things being manifested in the way this program is being delivered.
There's a bit of lack of transparency, right, when it comes to what actually is going on, why is it having such a problematic rollout, where are the bottlenecks? I don't think the public knows enough, and it just looks like a program that really should have been thought out better and could have been implemented slower. It's also a function of the over-promising and the need to, like you said, it's partly for glory and it's partly for personal, maybe reputation, that he wants to go down in history as the president who resolved all these problems for Indonesia, but it's meeting all these obstacles along the way. So yes, I think that would be a fair way to describe it.
But such a bold program can deliver good results. After all, there's one country which is seen as having used free meals as a cornerstone of economic success.
Part 3. India's free school meal program.
I am Suman Chakrabarty and I work at the International Food Policy Research Institute, which is based in Washington, D.C., but I'm currently based in New Delhi. And I'm in the...
All right, perhaps tomorrow we might come and talk about the Indian free school, what has been happening there. Let's take you to the FATU network, where we have the Minister of Information, Media and Broadcasting Service, Dr. Ismaila Ceesay, has emphasized that the Gambia is governed by the rule of law, and called on the citizens, particularly the youth, to respect legal procedures when exercising their right to protest. Speaking in an interview with West Coast Radio, Dr. Ceesay said the government welcomes the civil participation and acknowledge the concerns of young people, but insist that demonstration must remain within the confine of the law. Our petition, that's our position, in that the country is a country of law. we don't mind young people expressing their concerns, but also participating in the public discourse or in the politics of this country. We listen to their concern and we are with them, but they must follow the law if they want to protest, he said. When asked about the recent arrest of protesters, the minister declined to comment directly, citing the ongoing judicial process. Talking about the arrest of the protesters, I cannot comment. The case is now sub due is in court and is now for the court to deal with it, he said. Dr. Sise reiterated that the government supports a peaceful assembly when proper procedures are followed, particularly the inquiries to the obtain police permit. He explained that the permit system is intended not to cite distant, but to ensure the safety of both demonstrators and the wide public as well. So the minister, I think I also agree with the minister there entirely. He said that the government are open to any criticism and then ask the youth to protest lawfully because of this country is governed by laws. So those are fine. And then we will going to take some text messages also. As I said, you can send me a text on 50140255. 50140255. If you send me a message on that, I will read your message. And if you know the studio lines too, we going to read that one too. Sedu, what do you make of the minister's advice to the youths? Like go out and protest, yeah, but make sure it's based on law. I think that was a brave statement from the Minister of Information.
Yeah, it's a very brave, but then you should see that it's also part of
the minister also in the country. The Minister of Lands, Regional Government and Religious Affairs has issued a formal apology to a Murid community in the Gambia and abroad, following what he described as inappropriate and unacceptable remarks made by an imam during a recent Friday sermon. In his press statement, the minister expressed great regret over the incident, acknowledged the pain and misunderstanding caused within the Murid Brotherhood and the wider Muslim community. The Ministry of Lands, Regional Government and Religious Affairs formally condemned the appropriate and unacceptable remarks made by one of our imams during a recent Friday sermon, and we extend the heartfelt apology to the Murid community, both within the Gambia and around the world. The statement read, according to the ministry, the imam involved has admitted his mistake, repeated and issued a personal apology. Nonetheless, the ministry emphasized that such conduct is intolerated within its ranks. The imam involved has admitted his mistake, reminded and repented for the action and issued a sincere apology. However, it is imperative to note that such remarks are entirely unacceptable and must not be tolerated within our ranks. This statement further highlighted the Murid community involvement contribution to Islam, particularly in the fields of religion, education, spirituality, and social development. Contributions that said are recognized and deliberated globally. Well, an imam made a sermon, but it did not go well with the Murid community. The Minister of Religion, Ahmad, has come and then apologized on behalf of the Muslim Ummah and of course on the Imam who also did that sermon. So I think we have did enough for the daily podcast day. Let's do one more item from before going to prison was a rasta, but after prison, it's become a bald head. I'm talking about the killer heads.
Well, we stamp this guy as one of the most prominent Gambian artists that normally go out, join with the Gambians, also blend in and also fight or about corruption, also also recognize what we call some subtle patterns in between. But also we say we really see his effort towards also supporting, also not supporting what we call corruption, and also holding the government accountable as some institutions. But then we say congratulations to them, and also we expect the government also to hear our voice and also our concerns as citizens in this country.
Yeah, Killer X, when he was from the prison, he was asked about Rasta. Let's listen.
So these are all intimidation tactics. And the simple point, you see, the prison is still going by the 1950 colonial laws. The prison of the Gambia was built by the colonial people since 1950s. And they had laws that were made to make sure that the people that were anti-colonialism, like the Edward Francis teachers, etc., right, would not be able to, have courage and confidence when they come back out, because those were the people that were challenging the colonial people. Including things like who's going to enter the prison. Those are all colonial laws so that when the people who are arrested don't come out informed and enlightened to continue the revolution. So those policies and laws are still there today. And I do believe it's an opportunity for us to say that we must go to the National Assembly and reform a lot of these laws, which includes economy and Rasta. And those were tactics.
Yeah, so what he's talking about is very important. If you look at this prison, was built during the colonial era, and they did it deliberately to damage our people. But still, we maintain the same facilities, and then we are damaging our own people again.
But well, there's best ways of best prisons that we can punish people that are disobeying law. We have skill centers. You have skill centers, you take them there. Yeah. You have Jali Pacha is there, a very big rice field. Yeah. Take them there. They can have their own interests. Maybe 20% of the out of 100%, 80% goes to the state. We divide.
No, in China it's like that. In China,
and
business
there's a skill center. Youths are there. Mentor them, be there, give them therapy. Change them. Understand? If they go out, it starts the economy too. But then prison whereby it's unconditionable, and also you go there, environment also very terrible. You seriously see that when they go out, they don't have that kind of. They already lost what we call their physical ability to do something.
Yeah, Saliue, I think we've come to the end of the program for this week. Until I allow you to have your final words to our audience, until we come again. Tomorrow is Friday, so we are going to deserve week break until Monday.
Thank you very much, Mr. Fadi, and I thank you so much for honoring me on the platform, and also thanks to each and everyone listening to King FM 94.7 daily podcast on King FM 122.
Thank you very much, Saliue, and to you and you and you, and from me and the rest of the team, and of course our camera department. We have Mohammed Jamme, and we have Mariama Fati, Adama. Of course, there are plenty in the camera room there. So we say a big thanks to you all for the pleasure of your company. Till we come again tomorrow. I will see you on Monday. Have a peaceful day. Goodbye.